Okay. Hello, hello. Let's see if this works. Yep, seems to work. Okay, I'm completely unprepared, so let's also bring this to Twitter. Okay. Integrating the Stripe customer billing portal for Tier 1 users. I don't know what the thing is. Okay, so I'm completely unprepared. I was just watching an episode of Dark. So in the chat, please let me know if you hear me or if this is a problem. But I hope everything's fine. So welcome. Let's do this. So what are we talking about? I have an app called Tresor One, this one. It is a portfolio tracking tool, and there is a paid version for it, which is handled through Stripe. What else? It's the best payment provider, or let's say payment handler. And currently, so I wanted to ship fast as possible, and this meant that I basically put in the subscription through their hosted checkout, which was also great. Last year I implemented everything from scratch in their payment system. So the subscription, everything, the whole UI, everything was done. But they are moving to a hosted solution, or they offer that as well, which is much faster to get started. So let me quickly show you what that looks like if you are a non-subscriber. I have multiple accounts here, and this should be an account that is not subscribed yet. And if I then go to the prices, this is loading Stripe right now, and if I click on it, I basically already use not the client-side checkout, but their server-side checkout, which means I'm creating a session on the server. I can show you the code for this, and then I basically redirect to Stripe through that session, and the session code itself basically has the thanks Steven for the heads up, and the session code basically tells Stripe what they need to do there. So which product, what taxes, whatever, promo code, payment providers, all this kind of stuff. So this is basically the hosted checkout. It's on Stripe. And now they followed up with the next solution, which is the customer billing portal, because a subscriber may want to end their subscription. They may want to update their credit card details, maybe go to a different plan or whatever. So this is definitely something very nice to see, because I wanted to build this on my own, but when I heard that they are having this customer portal, I waited out until they release the hosted version of this as well. This will be much faster. So there is a question from Steven: when I'm open sourcing the portfolio performance import from this, rather sooner than later. So there is nothing holding me back except time. But I hope I will be able to finish this up this week, to open source it on the thanks, to open source it on GitHub. You see the studio. I'm sorry about that. Can I change this midstream? You have to tell me. Let's see. This is because I was too fast. So can you see the correct screen now? I hope. I'm looking at the screen right now. There is a slight delay in it to see if we are on the correct thing right now. Did it change for you guys and girls? I hope so. Awesome, thank you. Sorry for that. So yeah, I'm in the Stripe dashboard here. This is Tresor One. Again, yeah, I was just showing the hosted version, but I can show it again, but this might be not that important. If I go into this one, with these credentials, all right. If I go here and on subscribe, I will be redirected to the Stripe hosted checkout. This is what I was showing before. So this is on Stripe. It makes it much easier. I'm basically creating a session and then redirect to Stripe. So this is what I basically can plug into now. Let me quickly check. Here I have the checkout. So this is my checkout code. It's a cloud function, a serverless function. And currently I'm basically calling this cloud function from one of my client-side scripts. Let me quickly find that. Plus, where is it? So this is the plus page. This page, I'm looking now for this button, so I see where I subscribe here. Abonnieren, this one, purchase. And if I purchase, I am doing what? Oh yeah, I'm sending a post request to my checkout script, as you can see here, to this checkout script. This script then creates a session ID that I return, and with that session ID, I redirect to Stripe through redirect to checkout. And the session ID itself tells Stripe everything that is necessary for this checkout page. So I have the email in here, I have the user ID in, I have the redirect after that, and the product. This is everything that I passed to it, and then I create a Stripe session. I also have, of course, the Stripe utils function here, and this is actually the code that is in the Stripe documentation. So it gets a bit verbose because you cannot mix up those two. So one is for the subscription, one is for let's say a one-time buy. So I offer users to buy via a one-time fee, let's say a lifetime membership. Servus Heinz, awesome, cool people in here. Okay, so now I'm completely unprepared. So I was just watching Dark. And now I came online, so I have to check how it all goes ahead. And we see here, get started fast, integration guide. This is basically what I need, probably. I have to configure it in the portal settings. So let's check out the portal settings in the Stripe dashboard. Settings. Configure your customer portal. Let your customers manage their subscription and payment methods using a Stripe hosted portal. Appearance, business, that's all fine. Functionality, billing history. Allow customers to view their billing history. Yes. Payment methods. Allow customers to update their payment method. Yes. So if they want to change, for example, their credit card. Update subscriptions, no, because I have only one subscription. There are no different plans. Cancel subscriptions, yes, and then cancel at the end of the billing period, yes. This is also something, I'm building this now because I'm excited for Stripe, etc. And of course, it's automating or user self-service. I don't have much churn right now, so not a lot of people are canceling, but some. I thought that this might be a bad idea to implement this like this now, because what they currently have to do is write me an email, and through that conversation, it's a lot of value for me to know why they're canceling. So I'm always asking them, why are they canceling their subscription? This is very valuable feedback for me right now in this phase. And if I implement this now, I will basically not have this anymore. They can cancel whenever. I will not even notice it, except if I put some notifications in it. So yeah, this will be a bad thing for, let's say, the churn feedback, but I will still try to follow up, hopefully, in some way or another. So let's see, customize messaging, I can do this later, or I have to do this now apparently. So let's see, terms of service. I will put the legal page in there. Legal. Privacy policy is the same. Default redirect link. When customers cancel, I want them to the front page. Okay, and I can even look at the preview here. This is why Stripe is so amazing. They're awesome. Okay, this is how it will look like at the end of the day. So if a customer clicks on, for example, here in the profile on change credit card or cancel subscription, I will redirect them to this page basically, which has all their details. So what I assume right now how to implement this is I create another session just like my my checkout sessions here and redirect them. So this is what I assume will happen. So let's see. I did the first step, configure the portal, implement a redirect. It's exactly what I thought. So this is my test token. So nothing bad to see for you, I think. Set your secret key. Remember to switch to your live secret key in production. I have this already. And then I create a billing portal session. Response body, there's an attribute. Okay, seems to be easy enough. Let's see. Create Stripe session. I will alter this right now. So I will basically say intent. Is that the right word? Or is it with a D? Yes, intent. And where do I send this? Here. I basically send them now for the checkout. I will send them with the intent of checkout, or should I create a new function for it? Might be cleaner with a new function, right? But it's probably cleaner with a new function. Luckily, with Versal, I'm very fast in implementing a new function. So then I don't need an intent here. I have a checkout function and I will create a new function called it's basically self-service, or how do I call this? I call it customer portal as well. Customer portal.js. And if it's not a post, I send a 404 back. I check the authentication if the user is authenticated, and then I need the user ID. I only need the customer ID. Customer ID. Now redirect and customer ID. Okay, And this is not what I will do here. So I'm a console logger. I will check if the customer ID is probably sent, as well as the origin. So with this thing here, I just created a new cloud function, by the way. So I'm not sure I have to, but I will restart my dev server real quick, and now I will call it from a new function, from a new function inside my store. Or let's say I can do it here. So this I did a bit dirty. I have not created a separate store to do this in Vuex, I mean, in vue.js. But do I need this here? No, I need this in the profile. So I will create a proper function here now. This is also the wrong one. I need the user store, and here I will create a new function. So if show login, logout, sign up, get profile, set first name, and now I will create a function that's called manage payment details. This is the context object. I'm not sure I need anything else. What I need is the customer ID, so const customer ID, and I get this from the state. Let me quickly check here. Vuex user profile Stripe customer. Console log customer ID, so that should work hopefully, and I call this from these buttons here, these two buttons. So profile. Currently, by the way, this will just, you can't do this, and if you want to cancel your subscription, you write an email. Again, this was very nice, as I can talk to the users why they are canceling. But I of course want to make this more self-service, and I don't want them to have a barrier to cancel. If they don't want to use the service, they should be able to cancel anytime. And this is what I will implement through this. So let's start with change credit card first. Kreditkarte ändern, change credit card here. Click will be manage product details. Outlined, it's okay. And now I have to get this action. Now it should console log the Stripe customer ID already. Yes, that it's doing that. And now I will call my new API function. Manage payment details. Here I have to call it, and I will do it similarly to the plus index page. I'm just like copying my stuff all the time. So what I first have to do before I redirect the customer, I have to create this session. So I create the session ID. I'm using Axios to post to my API /user/ customer portal. Is it? No. Now it is customer portal. Might be a better name. I can change the name later down the road, but now I just want to make it work. And I named the parameters customer ID and redirect origin. Callback origin. That's because the origin I'm sending, because if I use this on multiple stages, so for example on localhost, on dev, on prod, The redirect from Stripe, I think there was a, yeah, exactly. My cloud functions don't know on which, host I am, so I'm sending this from the front end. This is why I'm sending the origin, so I keep that, and I will send the callback target or path, which should be just slash. Oh, I will remove this, I don't need it. So customer ID is customer ID, and then this should already be it. Customer portal, I should be already in here getting both of these before I return the Stripe session ID. Now let's see if this works. If I click this button, it should now call my cloud function, and then it should log here the, maybe I can do this, make this a bit bigger. It should log the, the customer ID. How can I remove these windows? Do you know? Okay. Okay, let's try. I click and it's building the function. It's checking if I'm authenticated, and it console logs the customer ID and the origin, the URL that I called this from. So I have already everything, and now I need to actually build the Stripe session. So here I have a function called create Stripe session, which is now a bad name because it should be a Stripe checkout session. I can change this later, and now I will do a new function, create Stripe, and what do they call it? A billing portal session. Stripe portal session. And it's basically this. I wonder if I have to update Stripe first, but I think it was available before today. So this is their customer, but of course I'm sending my own customer ID. Let me quickly call the function here. Create Stripe portal. I will import this here, call it here, and what I have to provide is the customer ID. I don't need the user ID, I don't need the email, I might need the redirect origin. That's about it. And here I'm getting these two, which I will get through destructuring, customer ID, redirect URL. And if I'm not mistaken, this could be it already. Listen to webhooks. Let's see. This is like a 10 minutes change without a live stream. So what should I get back? I should get back the Stripe session ID, and it should log the input here before I do the redirect. Oh, this is missing here, by the way. Redirect customers to this URL. I get all of this back. And then I get an actual URL that I have to send them to. Okay, works as well. So I click, and I have an error because No such customer. Similar object exists in live mode. Okay. How do I test this for a... Okay. Now I have to hack around a little bit. I have to get in, I have to log in with a different customer. With different user, and that user I have to give a test stripe a test stripe customer ID. So this is the test account of Stripe customer. There are a lot of test customers in here, as you can see. I will use this ID. And now I have to search here for, oh shit. I need the user ID of this one. Always a hassle. User ID. There we go. So again, what am I doing now? The problem was that I tried to test the Stripe implementation with a live user, but Stripe is very smart and doesn't allow me to use their test tokens and dev environments with the live data, of course. Same with the credit cards and all of that. So I have to use one of my, let's say, fake users and give them the Stripe customer ID of a test Stripe user or customer or whatever. So, and I will of course also give them then the pro account here. So now this should be a pro customer. Yes. And now if I click on it, I get all the fun stuff back. Can you see that? So now I have here created customer ID, some ID, live mode false, blah, 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 and the URL that I have to send the customer to. And I think that's all I need. So yeah, I will just use that. And now, from what I have read from the documentation, I can just redirect them. Router push URL. I think this is how I call the router in Vuex, right? Let's see. Okay, I'm clicking again on change credit card, and of course I have to use window location. Is it right? JavaScript push user to URL. No, I want to reload. Window location. Yeah, okay. Somehow I always want to do this with the Vue router, but it's apparently just for internal uses. Change credit card and bada boom. Stripe customer portal. That was easy. When did I start the live stream? 10 minutes? 15? So now I can cancel my subscription and I can add another credit card and I can see my my previous payments and get the invoice, which looks amazing, specifically with the new logo. This is awesome. Yeah, that's basically it already. I mean, I don't have to test this kind of stuff because it's from Stripe and they probably test it. So, and as I'm on a Stripe website, I assume that this works. So what do I have to do now? I have to clean up. I have to make this production ready, of course. But that's it. Stripe, you are awesome and boring. It's too easy. I thought I have like 2 hours of work here, but I can actually watch another episode of Dark right now because this went so fast. But yeah, let me quickly summarize it and then I will clean up a bit. So anyone who was interested in how to implement this, my cat is also very excited. Anyone who was interested in implementing this, I think this covered it already. And from now on, I will clean up so you can hang out with me if you want to a little bit. So let me summarize it real quick. So you need a server-side function, whatever, you need a server, your backend, and you have your front end. And what you do is you call your backend and provide the customer ID of Stripe. Or you probably have this on the backend side as well. You probably don't need to provide it through the front end. I probably shouldn't provide it through the front end either, but just get it on the backend side, which you know what I will do. This is part of the cleanup. So you just call whatever your backend function, your backend endpoint that you do for this, and on the backend side, you fetch the customer ID from the user, and just have these 3-4 lines. Create a session from Stripe, you return that, and that session includes a URL. You redirect the person to the URL and they get the customer portal and can do whatever. It continues from there as I see it here in the documentation. They will then send out webhooks, or the webhooks are available already, right? If you need to do something on the application side when the customer does something. So for example, if my users cancel their pro subscription, I need to, remove their pro flag in the database as well. So I will listen to the webhooks and then do that. This is something I still have to implement, of course. And I probably will also do this tonight, maybe. For now, I will clean this up a little bit. I will also get the customer ID from the backend side, so there are no shenanigans. And you can stick around a little bit if you want to. Let's see. So in check authentication, am I getting the entire user profile? I think so. And am I? I'm not entirely sure if I get the entire customer already. Get profile. Okay, probably don't. So I will do this here. So instead of providing the customer ID through the front end, which could be insecure potentially, I will get it from the backend side. So I will not send it here. I basically don't need anything, which is great. I just provide the callback URL, and here, no, where is it? Customer portal. I have my authenticated user, and now I'm getting the profile. from my user utils, and then I say await get profile user ID. I don't need the email. And then I have the customer ID from the profile. Let's use fancy destructuring. Let's just see if that works without testing or whatever. No. Cannot find utils user. This doesn't exist. Where is my get profile? It's a... Oh, that was the wrong one. User. It's called users. Yeah, I think Stripe really is going into a direction where, you know, it's not only relevant for big corporations. I mean, we use at Channel, we also use Stripe, switched from some worse payment providers. It's undefined, but Stripe, where they are going now, it makes everything so much more usable for like indie hackers and bootstrappers and makers and, you know, people with side projects. It was so much work in the past to implement it, even though it was awesome API, everything. But now it's like you implement payment and it takes you an hour for everything, like setting up subscriptions and self-service. It's incredible. So what's the issue here? Get profile, collection file 1, it should work. Oh, let's just console log a little bit more. Get profile of, and as you can see, I don't have a lot of catches in here and stuff like this. I'm a bad programmer. My tests are very basic right now. What's the issue? Search. Is it actually calling it? Let me quickly remove that. So what are you building, dear listeners and viewers? Tell me in the comments. What's your latest side project? Share it with us. Maybe we can take a look and feel in awe of it. Oh, I know why. Because I'm stupid. That's usually the reason, by the way. If something's not working. So now I only call my backend with nothing, an authenticated user, and from that authentication token I'm getting the user profile from the backend side, getting the Stripe ID and creating the session, and normally redirect them to that session. But I forgot to send the session, but did it find the profile? I have too much logging in here. You know, I had so much troubles with like token caching and stuff on the authentication that I logged the hell out of it. It's still not perfect. Server-side, serverless functions and authentication is, yeah, not a good thing currently. And now it's annoying me. So let's see, profile, change credit card. Boom, it works without me providing the customer ID through the front end. Even better now. So don't do it as I did in before. Do it like that. Everything from an authentication token or access token. And what I also want to do is, yeah, I will not put them back to the front page. I want them back in the profile. But it's currently hard to directly access this. I have a bug in there. I will put them to the portfolio page, to their own portfolio. That means in Stripe I have to add portfolio. The question is there a slash already in it or not when I send the origin? This sucks. These are very small things, and I hate to do like an if statement or something for, you know, a slash at the end or something like this. Oh, by the way, I also want this for the other button. So we have this for change credit card, but as Stripe has a portal for everything, I basically do this for this button as well. And I still do two buttons because I don't want the user to, like, I don't want to create a button of like manage your payments or subscription or something, because there could be more to it that Stripe doesn't handle. So I will still use two separate buttons for it, even though they come out at the same destination. So we have, this is like end your subscription, basically the same button. And we have change your credit card. This is the German word for soon. So it's now change credit card or cancel subscription. And if I click on it, it still opens the email. It's not what I wanted. Oops. But now hopefully it works. No, this is still the wrong. Oh, that's why. This should be a button now, not a link anymore. Boom. What I also want is a loading spinner, of course. Wait, I should be able to put them to profile as long as they're logged in. This should work. So my redirect URL will be, where do I put this? Here. No, manage payment details in user. Oh my god, I have too many files. Manage payment details. Here is the window location origin. Let's just use window location because I can only do this from here, which means it's the current profile, hopefully. Let's try. Change credit card. God damn. What's the problem? Invalid string. That's because in my dashboard here in the customer billing portal or something, customer portal, I put in, where are the redirects? No, default redirect link should work. What's the problem? Invalid rejection. Oh. Which one is it then? href? Oh, it's Edwin, the Stripe boss. One of the important Stripe people is here. This creates a lot of pressure, but Edwin, I'm already done. I'm not sure if you are late or not, but you are too late. It's already done. Even though I get failed requests right now, I swear it was already done. What's the problem now? Profile, manage payment details. I have a wrong URL here. Yeah, it's an object, but oh, this one is wrong. Of course. Sorry about that. So now, click on change credit card. There we go. And we got it. And now the redirect to the profile page hopefully works as well. Yes, it does. And if I click on cancel subscription, I should arrive at exactly the same page, because that's where the user can all do all this stuff. Great. So what else? Edwin, this was too easy. It's yeah. I'm way overdue. I don't have too much time. I don't spend enough time right now to finish the live stream. So I have to build some other stuff as well. So we have change credit card. We have cancel subscription. What else do we want? I removed the unimportant stuff. Oh yeah, loading spinners. We need loading spinners for this, even though it's just a very short query. We still want loading spinners. So manage payment details means that means I have to do a handler. So where do I use this? Here, payment details. I say payment handler. I create a new method, async payment handler. This calls my actual manage payment thingy, which creates a session on the backend side, then redirects the user to the created URL for that Stripe session. But before that, I'm saying basically payment handler or customer portal loader, whatever. No, I stay here with payment handler loading, whatever. And after that, that's false. But before false is called, I'm probably redirected already. And now I need this in my data. And in the buttons, here I basically need a conditional class where I say is loading when payment loading handler is true. Now both of them will show the loading spinner when I click on them, but you know, that's a very minor thing, and it's fine. Click. They stop loading before the redirect apparently, but yeah, good enough. What else? We needed the webhooks, right? So with I need to listen to the webhooks, but that's honestly, that is not easy, because testing the webhooks locally, it requires some weird, or it's not weird, it's probably necessary, but it's still a bit cumbersome, as I need to launch a local Stripe listener or whatever that then, tunnels the requests and so I can see what is happening. So this requires a bit more setup and a bit more brain power than I can spend during a live stream, because then I'm not able to talk to you anymore, which might be a good thing. But yeah, it's something for another day, when I can focus a bit more. So listening to this webhooks is definitely necessary to finish this feature. So I want to have it in a new branch, Stripe customer portal. Redirect is working. Let's quickly check if everything is cool. We have this is the checkout session, that is fine. We have the customer from the profile page. I call manage payment details. Manage payment details is then here. Simply sends the user with the current URL to customer portal. So calls customer portal, a protected endpoint, and from that protection, from that access token, I get the profile of my user. So first the authentication through Auth0, then I get the profile from my database, in which I store the Stripe customer ID. With that customer ID, I then call the very small Stripe function, here billing portal session create. So I create a session for this customer ID and return that session. That session includes a URL here, session ID, session, or it's more a session, Stripe portal session. From that I extract the URL and send the user off to the URL. And this results in one click, one redirect, and the user can cancel the subscription, update the payment details, set new standards, add payment details, and look up all their billing history, which basically just saved me a week of work for doing this with just the APIs and building my own stuff around it. Amazing. Okay, so what do we do now? Have some coffee? Hang out a little bit? I don't know. It's done. I will end the live stream here, It's 10 p.m. in Germany, and I will go and watch another episode of Dark. So thanks for tuning in. I will have some more live streams when I find one or two quiet hours where I can just code and hang out with you guys. So thanks for tuning in. I see you in the next one, and a new video on the channel is coming up tomorrow about the same application. So subscribe and don't miss it. See you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.